My dear students, welcome to EduSat teleteaching program. In the last class, we have discussed the childhood of our ex-president APJ Abdul Kalam. Right now, today we will discuss the second part, that is about the education of APJ Abdul Kalam. One after another we will discuss. Like this, it is your SGP 2 sense group paragraph. So, before going to the topic, we have to know all about the APJ Abdul Kalam, or in the last class what we have learned, that is the recapitulation. Recapitulation means the last class what we have learned. We have to discuss little, then we will go to the loud reading, then we have the meaning and the assessment. Okay. What are the recapitulation? You listen please. That means, in the last class what we have learnt. First of all, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was born on 15th October 1931 in a Tamil Muslim family. He was the youngest of all the 4 brothers. Second thing. The third thing is his ancestors were wealthy. Fourth one, during his younger days, Dr. Kalam had to sell newspapers to supplement his family's income. He had a loving teacher named Subramani Iyer, who was very loving and affectionate. Then you see, this is your recapitulation, then we will read aloud. Okay, the same thing, you see the page number, your book 42 and paragraph 3. You go to the paragraph 3, I am going to read aloud, you also see carefully. Okay. Kalam started his elementary education at Ramnathpuram. Here, a science teacher named Shiva Subramania Iyer or S. Subramania Iyer, who was very loving and affectionate. He always inspired Kalam to develop his skills so that he could compete with highly educated people in big cities. Once he invited the boy home for a meal, which his wife disliked and refused to serve a Muslim child like him. I want to repeat it again. Be careful. Kalam started his elementary education at Ramnathpuram. He had a science teacher named Shiva Subramania Iyer, who was very loving and affectionate. He always inspired Kalam to develop his skills so that he could compete with highly educated people in big cities. Once he invited the boy home for a meal, which his wife disliked and refused to serve a Muslim child like him. Next you see, his teacher himself served Kalam while she watched them eat from behind the kitchen door, but his behavior, way of taking the meal and cleaning the floor changed her attitude. When the teacher invited Kalam for the second time, his wife welcomed him and served him food herself. Again you see, his teacher himself served Kalam while she watched them eat from behind the kitchen door, but his behavior, way of taking the meal and cleaning the floor changed her attitude. When the teacher invited Kalam for the second time, his wife welcomed him and served him food herself. Okay? Then you see paragraph 4 please. Kalam then moved to the Squats Higher Secondary School for his secondary education. In his school years, he had average grade, but was considered a bright and hardworking student who had a strong desire to learn. He spent hours in studies, especially mathematics. Again, I want to repeat the paragraph 4. Kalam then moved to the Squat Higher Secondary School for his secondary education. In his school years, he had average grades, but was considered a bright and hardworking student who had a strong desire to learn. He spent hours on his studies, especially mathematics. After completing his studies here, Kalam was admitted to St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli, where he graduated in physics in 1954. His dream in life was to become a pilot, so he applied for studying engineering at the Madras Institute of Technology. Again you see, after completing his studies here, Kalam was admitted to St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli, where he graduated in physics in 1954. His dream in life was to become a pilot, so he applied for studying engineering at the Madras Institute of Technology. Next you see, he was selected, but education at such a prestigious institute was not so easy. It was an expensive affair. Around 1,000 rupees was required to pay towards the course fee. Asima Jora, his compassionate elder sister, come to his help. She mortgaged her gold ornaments for his admission fee, and he completed his aerospace engineering in 1960. Very interesting, you see again. He was selected, but education at such a prestigious institution was not so easy. It was an expensive affair. Around 1,000 rupees was required to pay towards the course fee. Asima Jora, his compassionate elder sister, come to his help. She mortgaged her gold ornaments for his admission fee, and he completed his aerospace engineering in 1960. Yes, loud reading is completed. We will go to the meaning. Carefully you see please. It is the meaning means about the education of APJ Abdul Kalam. Kalam started his elementary education. Elementary education here means the primary education at Ramnathpuram, a city near Rameswaram. Okay, it is clear. Primary education started at Ramnathpuram, you remember. He had a science teacher at primary school. His name was Shiva Subramani Iyer. Okay, here the picture you see, who was very loving and affectionate. He loved children very dearly. He always inspired, give inspiration, or someone desire to do more and more. So he always inspired Kalam to develop the skill, the potentiality, so that he could compete with the higher educated people in big cities. You see, a teacher does not teach the students. A good teacher only inspires the students to go ahead. This was the quality of Shiva Subramani Iyer, who was inspiring Kalam to go for higher education and compete in the big cities. Okay? Next you see, very nice thing. Then once he invited, he means the teacher invited the boy home a meal. He was a loving teacher. He was a very loving teacher, which his wife disliked and refused to serve a Muslim children or child like him. Okay, at that time there was discrimination. So wife of his teacher disliked to serve, to give food to APJ Abdul Kalam. Then what happens the next you see please my dear students, what happened there? What happened? His teacher himself served Kalam. When wife of his teacher denied to serve or to give food, to serve food to APJ Abdul Kalam, the teacher himself served to APJ Abdul Kalam, and she was watching what is going on behind the kitchen door. Who was watching? Wife of S. Subramani Iyer, or the teacher was watching behind the kitchen door, but his behavior, way of taking the milk and cleaning the floor changed her attitude. His behavior after completing the meal, what did APJ Abdul Kalam do there? He cleaned the floor, okay? He cleaned the floor. So, the attitude, way of taking meal and cleaning the floor, the attitude changed the behavior of whom? The wife of his teacher. Okay. Next you see what happened there. When the teacher invited Kalam for the second time, his wife welcomed him and served him herself, the food herself. Okay. And the second time when the teacher invited APJ Abdul Kalam to his home, at the same time the wife of his teacher served. Okay. See, the behavior, good behavior changed the attitude of the wife of his teacher. Okay. Then we will go to the para 4, the SGP, the meaning. Kalam then moved to the Squads Higher Secondary School for his secondary education. After primary education Ramnathpuram, it is clear to you, then the secondary education. He started his secondary education where it is? Squads Higher Secondary School. Okay, it completed. In his school he had the average grade. You see, you may thinking that he may be a brilliant one. No, he was a average student like Gandhi. Okay, but was considered a bright and hard working student, very hard working, who had a strong desire to learn, willingness, a strong wish to learn more and more. So that what he was doing? He spent hours together in his studies, especially in mathematics. Okay, mathematics was his liking subject. So most of the time he was reading, though he was not a very good student, but desire to learn. That desire, the strong willingness, okay, succeed him in the latter life. So you should possess the strong desire for your learning. Then after that, after completing his study here, Kalam was admitted to St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli. Okay. Then the college where he graduated. After school, he graduated, means a degree from the university in physics in 1954. 1954. His dream in life was to become a pilot. Okay. He thought he will be a pilot in future. What happened then? You see, please, my dear students. Okay. So he applied for studying engineering at the Madras Institute of Technology. You see the picture. Okay, the Madras Institute of Technology. After having the graduate in physics, he applied to study in Madras Institute of Technology. He was selected, but education at such a prestigious institution was not easy. Okay, prestigious means respect, not easy. So it was an expensive affair. Around 1,000 rupee was required to pay towards the course fee. 1,000. At that time, you think about 1954, it was impossible on the part of a child to give 1,000 rupee as the course fee. So how, though he got selected, but it was not possible at them. You see how or what happened there. Asima Jora, his compassionate elder sister, loving sister, came to his help. He mortgaged her gold ornaments for his admission fee, and he completed his aerospace engineering in 1960. Okay. Hurdles is not a hurdle one for him. He has a strong desire. So his loving elder sister gave his ornaments and he continued the education and completed his education in aerospace engineering from the Madras Institute of Engineering in 1960. Dear students, it is clear to you, his education now completed. Okay. Then the second part what we discussed, education of APJ Abdul Kalam. So, after that we have to discuss some of the questions, that is your assessment, that means what you learn from the SGP 2, that one we will discuss the questions. Okay. Very good. Where did he got his primary education or elementary education? He means Kalam. He got his primary or elementary education in Ramnathpuram, a small city in Tamil Nadu. Okay. Ramnathpuram related to primary education or elementary education of Kalam. Okay. Who was his science teacher who always inspired him? Yes, Subramania Iyer, or you can say Shiva Subramania Iyer was his science teacher. Where? At elementary education. He always giving him some inspiration to go ahead. Okay. Who was his science teacher? His science teacher was S. Subramania Iyer was his science teacher. What did he invite for? He invited Kalam for a meal. He means his teacher invited Kalam for a meal. How did his wife react to it? At that time there was a discrimination, or we can say blind belief. So, his wife disliked it and refused to serve a Muslim child like Kalam. That means his wife did not serve food to Kalam. Understood? How did his wife react to it? That means his wife disliked it and refused to serve a Muslim child like Kalam. What changed her attitude? How the behavior of the wife of his teacher changed? Kalam's behavior, his way of taking meal and cleaning the floor changed the attitude of his wife. Very important one is the 5 question number 5. Okay. Then we will go to the next. What was Kalam's dream in life? Kalam's dream in life was to become a pilot. Okay. You should have some dream, you should have some aim, otherwise without aim it will not possible to get your goal. So, like what was Kalam's dream in life? Kalam's dream in life was to become a pilot. Question number 7. What did he do to fulfill his dream? Okay. Question 7 is important for you. He applied for studying engineering at the Madras Institute of Technology to fulfill his dream. Can you tell, is it possible for him at that time to read such a great institute? Though he applied, though it was costly, he applied for studying engineering at the Madras Institute of Technology to fulfill his dream in life. Question number 8. What problem did he face for his admission into engineering? Engineering means Madras Institute of Engineering or Technology. The course fee for admission into engineering was around 1,000 rupees. So, he did not have it, means he did not have the money to get admission. That was the problem he faced at the time of his admission, but that hurdles over. Who came to his help and how? Question number 9. Asima Jora, his compassionate elder sister, came to his help. She mortgaged her gold ornaments and provided money for his admission. You remember, if you have the desire, you can get success. So that he had strong desire to continue his education or to become a pilot in Madras Institute of Technology. So, he applied, but did not have the money, but his compassionate elder sister, loving elder sister came to his help, and she mortgaged, means gave her ornament and got some money, and she gave the money to APJ Abdul Kalam to get admission into the Madras Institute of Technology. It is clear to you? Then we will go to the next part. Yes, some important opposite words you have. Okay. What are the some important opposite words you see? What opposite meaning you see? That is in your book also. You see words are there, some opposite meaning is also there. Complete, first one you see complete, the opposite, it is prefix we have used, incomplete. In is the prefix, okay, pre. If we use this in before complete, that will be incomplete, the opposite meaning. Is it clear to you? Very important, you just practice it. Complete, incomplete. Educated, second question is the educated, and next one will be the answer will be uneducated. Educated will be uneducated. Okay. Then the third one, expensive. Yes, the opposite meaning of expensive will be inexpensive. Number 4, what is the number 4 here? It is successful, it will be unsuccessful. Number 5, popular, unpopular, on the prefix is used. Sufficient, insufficient. Okay. These are the things, just you read there and you can get. Okay. At the time of reading, you underline in the book and you can find it and easily do the answer of this. Again I want to repeat the such things, some important opposite words. First one is the complete, yes, the opposite meaning will be incomplete. Educated, next one will be uneducated, its opposite meaning. Expensive, it will be inexpensive. Successful, unsuccessful. Popular, unpopular. Sufficient, insufficient. All these in, on, all these are known as the prefix. That means we can, using the prefix, we can do the opposite word of the some meanings. Is it clear to you? Then we will go to the some other parts, that is the key ideas. Okay. What key ideas or what we learn today? Okay. What we have discussed today? You see, Dr. Kalam completed his schooling from Squat Higher Secondary School. Secondary school you understood, primary school was in Ramnathpuram, okay, understood, or and secondary school was in Squats Higher Secondary. Then he completed the secondary education. Secondary means high school, secondary means we can say the high school. Okay. He was considered as a hard working and bright student. We have discussed, though he was not a very good student, he was not very brilliant, but he was hard working and bright student. He used to learn mathematics. Okay. He was admitted to St. Joseph with he graduated in physics. Okay. After school career, he admitted to St. Joseph College, there he got degree or graduate degree in 1954. After having the degree, he had a great desire. What was the desire or aim? His dream in life was to become a pilot. Okay. You see, a student or a child who was selling newspaper to supplement the family income, now his dream was to become a pilot. Okay. Next you see please, what happened there? He decided to study at prestigious Madras Institute of Technology. At that time it was very difficult to get admission in the Madras Institute of Technology. It needs 1000 rupees in the year 1954, I think about. It is too much right now if you decide, but a student who was selling newspaper, but his desire was to become a pilot. What happened there? His elder sister Asima came to her help to pay the course fee. So, he mortgaged her gold ornaments and he became a pilot and then great scientist. Okay. With this we conclude this chapter. Next we will continue.